So this video is going to be me attempting to make my phone aesthetic. I did a what's on my iPhone video. Since the last time you guys seen my video, I kind of just put stuff together, but I didn't really go through and add all the shortcuts. But today I'm going to be revamping up my phone, making it as aesthetic as I can without losing functionality and all that stuff. So if you want to see that, definitely stay tuned and watch to the end so you see the finished product. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Seriah Alexus, and here I post petite fashion videos, vlogs, post-grad and adulting videos, and a little bit of tech. So if you're into all those types of videos, definitely consider subscribing down below, and don't forget to give this video a like. So this was a process. I already knew it was going to be a process. I made sure I was sitting somewhere comfortable. I'm really happy with how it came out. Just know, set time aside if you're going to be doing this, because this takes time. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a long time. This is how my phone looked before I did everything to it. This is what you guys seen on my what's on my iPhone video. I'm gonna have to walk through like the steps here because your girl did a lot. We did a lot. So the first thing I did is step one, find someone or find a home screen aesthetic that you like, because this will help you stay focused in what you're trying to create instead of just trying to do everything from the top of your head. Just find something that you like already and recreate that. This is going to save you so much time, I'm telling you. I have a whole Pinterest board of iOS 14 home screen aesthetics that you can look for, different themes, and I also made a board of a whole bunch of cute aesthetic pictures that you guys can use for your home screen too. The first thing I did, of course, is find a background that I really loved and that I thought would not be too distracting so that I could still see my apps. So the theme that I was going for is like a beige theme. So what I did was search up a nude aesthetic or a beige aesthetic on Pinterest. Pinterest just pulls up a whole bunch of aesthetic photos that you can find that have the same color scheme. So that's what I did. I found my background, back to that. What I did is when I found the background that I liked, I blurred it out a little bit so that it wasn't, like I said, distracting for the apps. You can still see the apps. So you can do this on Pixar. That's where I did it. I still made sure that it was still noticeable, but just a little blurred out. Step 3 is you are going to want to download widgetsmith if you don't have it already. I'm pretty sure most of us have it now, but that's pretty much how I created all the widgets, the big widgets that you see on my phone. In widgetsmith, you can adjust all of the different widgets to have them all match up. The colors that I choose is like a beige or like a grayish color for all of my widgets, unless it's a picture. And then if my widgets have text, I will most likely choose the New York font style. Alright, so organizing my home screen so that I know which apps I want where and what I want to create shortcuts for. Pretty much my home screen was already organized, but it just looked messy. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing, I guess. Since I took most of my apps out of folders to put it on the home screen, I organized them by pages. So what I did was the apps that I used the most, why can't I speak? Those were the apps that were gonna go on my first page on my home screen. I loved having my calendar on the first page, so I made sure that stayed like that. But what I did was add the widget where it tells you the upcoming events that's coming up on your calendar, but it still has the date and the calendar on the right hand side. And then I kept the weather widget, which it's not really aesthetic, but is what it is. So after I pretty much had the layout and how I want my apps to be, then I started creating the shortcuts for those apps. So I already saved all my aesthetic pictures from Pinterest onto my camera roll. And the next thing you're gonna wanna do is go into the shortcuts app and make shortcuts for all of these apps. And this is pretty much what takes up the most time. So play some music, watch a TV show or whatever. Found some new songs, so I was having a good time. So how I wanted my home screen to look is I wanted my shortcuts to my apps to have icons and also photos. And then for the rest of the apps on the bottom, I just made those into photos. So basically how you do this, when you open up your shortcuts app, you're gonna want to hit the plus sign, which is to add another shortcut, and then you're gonna hit add an action, and from there you're gonna type in which action you want the shortcut to do. And for this, you're just gonna have it open up an app. And then from there, where it says choose, you're gonna hit choose. You're just gonna type the app that you want it to open, click that app, and then you have a new shortcut for the app. Alright, so as an example, if you want to add multiple shortcuts to an app, you can do that. So the first shortcut obviously is to have the open app shortcut, and I did this for photos, and then I added another shortcut. And what I did is just type in photos and see what type of shortcuts I can create for this app. And I just chose another shortcut called view recent photos. So basically when I open up my photos app, it'll open up the app and then it'll take me to all my recent photos. Then you're gonna hit the 3 dots at the top right, and this is where you customize the app. So you just type in the shortcut name, then you're gonna hit add to home screen, and here you're gonna type in the home screen name at the bottom. Basically how I did it was I just had it all lowercase and then just spaced it out. I thought that looked cuter. And then the next thing you want to do is hit the little icon next to the name at the bottom, and then it'll come up where you can choose a photo. Then you just choose any one of the aesthetic photos that you have, and then after you're done with that, you just hit done, and then it'll be on your home screen. After I put the aesthetic shortcuts on my home screen, I moved the original app to the last page.
This shit is so annoying.
I pretty much repeated the same process for the second page that I have, and I just switched up the widgets a little bit. Let me run through how my phone looks for you guys so you guys get an idea. I'm not gonna run through all the apps just because I have a video on that already. Okay, so you guys pretty much saw, but this is the first page. So I have Google Calendar, Gmail, Maps, Photos on the left hand side. Then the right, like I said, I have the weather, and then I have the calendar widget with just upcoming events coming up, which I love it. And then at the bottom, I just have all apps, which are just like all aesthetically pleasing pictures, which I love. So I have Notion, my garage app, an app that I use for the light in my room, the App Store app, settings, Alexa, my notes app, and music. And then at the bottom, I made aesthetic icons for the Safari app, the call app, whatever it's called, the phone app, Messenger, and YouTube. And then on the next page, I have the widget of when the sun sets and rises. Love this widget. I put it on this page, which is kind of nice because this is where like I do all my creating. So I pretty much work off of like when the sun sets and rises. So on the right hand side, I have the social medias that I use the most. And then I just put the rest of the social media apps on this page, like LinkedIn. I don't think I have Snapchat there, but yeah, like LinkedIn, Clubhouse, things like that. Apps that I don't really use as much. In the middle, I have like a widget that just says one of a kind as a quote, and then the bottom I have podcasts, Pinterest, YouTube tracker, YouTube Studio, SoundCloud, Unum, Lightroom, and all of my apps that I use to edit. And this is just the first page. I made the aesthetic so it matches, and the second page is just all the apps that I use, but did not want to make app icons for it. I wanted to keep my folders on this last page just because I like how it's set up and I like how everything's organized, but I just switched it up a little bit. I changed the widgets. So I just have at the top, I have all my health related apps, and then I have a widget that is just how many steps I took and how many miles I walked in the day, which I'm gonna need to go for a walk later today. Then next to that, I just have my different health apps that I went through before. Then under that, I have my business apps, my finance apps, my apps that I use to make money off of, and just apps I use for modeling stuff. Then next to that, I still have the moon phases widget, which I love. I love to look at the moon phases, I don't know. And then the bottom widget, I just have a pretty picture of whatever this is. I honestly don't know, I just like the colors. And then I have my games and my shopping apps. And then the last page, like I said, it's just all the apps that I don't really want to see on my homepage or don't use as much, or the ones that I created shortcuts for. And if you want, you can always hide the page, so you can just unclick or uncheck the page that you don't want to show, and basically these will be all the pages that are shown. I just keep it there. If things are out of sight for me, I will forget about it. If you want a more detailed what's on my iPhone video, check out my previous one, which I also have linked down below. I go through more in depth of the apps that I have on my phone. Don't forget to check out my Pinterest, where I have all the iOS home screen ideas and also the aesthetic picture board. If you want, check out my Instagram and TikTok, where I also post on there consistently, guys. I've been staying on it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss when I upload. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Bye.
my weed from California.